Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out the Pavo 20 by Betafpv. It is a pocket-sized Cinewhoop, slightly bigger than the Pavo Pico and smaller than the Pavo 25 V2. It is also compatible with the DJI O3 Air Unit, Caddx Vista, and also the RunCam Link. It is an F4 20 amp 2 to 3S all-in-one V1 flight controller on a crash-proof plastic ducted frame on the bottom, measuring in at 5 inches in width all around and 6 inches diagonally, with a 2 millimeter thick carbon fiber top plate measuring in at 3 inches in width all around and 4 inches diagonally. Now the wheelbase from motor shaft to motor shaft is 3.54 inches or 90 millimeters. The motors are the plug and play 1103 8500 kV motors that are mounted via 4 screws, and the props are the Gemfan 2015 bi-bladed push-in props. Now the dry weight is just 55 grams. Now the battery slot size is 20 millimeters in width, and the Lava 450 milliamp batteries fit in there perfectly. Look at that, it doesn't even slide off. And the Lava 550 milliamp fits in there perfectly as well, but not as snugly as the 450 milliamp, but it fits in there just as well. And because of the Velcro strap mount, other manufactured batteries like the RDQ 550 milliamp batteries also fit in there almost perfectly as well. So the 550 milliamp bats are basically the same size and thickness, but are a little bit longer. And as long as the battery has a side that is narrower than 20 millimeters, it will fit in there. Now there's a couple of anti-slip rubber pads for non-slip, and has the XT30 connector for the battery. So simply line it up. And strap it in. Oh yeah, that's not going anywhere. Now it is recommended for only 3S 450 milliamp to 650 milliamp size batteries. It has the DJI 6-pin wiring harness already prepped, so easy hookup. It also has the LED light strip connector already prepped as well. So you can go ahead and use the light strip that they provide you with. It's a green LED light strip, I believe. You just tape it on to the side of the ducted frame if you like LED lights. Now it also has a 220 microfarad 25 volt capacitor, piggyback soldered, if you can see that. Piggyback soldered onto the battery cables. Now the flight controller has GPS support with T1 and R1 pads that are open. It has 16 megabytes of memory for black box. It also has support for S-bus receivers as well with its own pads. Now this one has a 2.4 gigahertz serial ELRS receiver built in, or you can choose TBS if you like. And here is the single wire for the built-in receiver. Now it has a maximum flight range of 800 meters, and the ESCs are pre-flashed with the Blue Jay firmware. It has 9 volt 2 amp BEC power supply to ensure stable operation of the DJI O3 air unit. So when you're running low on battery, your DJI air unit won't black out on you. Now here's the O3 air unit mount with a huge reinforcement to safeguard the camera lens. And this thing has built-in copper nut inserts. Now the Pavo Pico mount was just plastic, no copper nut inserts. And it was really flimsy, so it was really easy to break. So they've made this one a lot more durable. Now the ducted frame also has the built-in copper nut inserts as well. So in the rear, here are the antenna mounts. It is prepped for the provided dual dipole antennas, and also in the middle is the DJI antenna mount. Whichever antenna you want to use, you can use. Now it comes with rubber dampers for vibration jello control. Now, although it would be nice if you could choose the colors of the frame initially, but it only comes in all black. But you can get additional frames in black, blue, or transparent gray like this here for replacement. Now, this is above my pay grade. So the flight controller has a hidden UART number 3. Now, you will need to remove the resistors and unbridge the pads to release UART 3. So if you are good like that, the TX3 pad is on the left and the RX3 pad is on the right. You can also unbridge the pads and remove the chip bead to disconnect the power supply. And to reuse the onboard ELRS receiver, soldering and bridging the pads together will restore power. And for those of you who want to use Walk Snail Avatar HD Mini 1S and Lite, you will need to unbridge the chip bead from the 9 volt pad and the middle pad and bridge it to the 5 volt pad. Or use solder to bridge the pads instead of the chip bead to switch from 9 volt to 5 volts. So you will need to use the provided 4-pin adapter cable and the Type-C adapter board. Now the connector port is easy to access and conveniently located. Unlike the Pavo Pico, where you had to remove a motor to access the 4-pin connector port, and unlike the Pavo 25, where you had to remove a motor as well to access the micro USB port. This is so much easier. Okay, open Betaflight and plug in the quadcopter. I'm using a C2C cable and place the quadcopter on a flat level surface. And there we go. So first thing you want to do is calibrate the accelerometer. So let's go ahead and calibrate it. All right, calibrate it. Next, you want to make sure the orientation is correct. So let's see here. There we go. Yeah, seems to be correct. Perfect. Okay, leave it back on a flat level surface, and let's go into the ports tab. So UART3 is hooked up to the serial RX, and UART4 has the MSP plus the display port. So it is preset by default for the DJI O3 air unit right out of the box. So let's check out the configuration here. Okay, 270-degree clockwise, accelerometer, barometer turned on. Okay, 8 and 4. Beacon tone is already set to 1, RX loss, RX set. And there's the craft name. And you can turn on any one of these beeper if you wish. There's a lot. Okay, so let's see other features. We got LED strip, OSD, and air mode is constantly turned on. I like to have mine with a angle mode and air mode, so I'm going to turn off air mode, permanent air mode, and save and reboot. Okay, just go back and check, make sure everything is, there you go. This is the way you have it set. Power and battery is preset, fail safe, and here you can see that it is configured. The modes are already configured. Okay, it is set to drop, and that is good. Presets, I'm not going to do any presets. PID, let's see here. Profile 1, let's see profile 2. Okay, profile 2 is Betaflight default. Profile 3 as well. Profile 4, so set it back to profile 1, where they did some tweaking on this, is preset. So check it out. Okay, it's all good. I'm not going to change anything. Go into the receivers tab, and we have serial receiver mode via UART, and crossfire is enabled for the receiver provider, so that's correct. And let's see, everything looks pretty good here, and I haven't bound it or anything, so we don't see any other bars moving. Let's see the modes. Okay, so we got aux1 for arming, and that's the way I like it, and aux2 for angle, and that's the way I like it. Horizon I don't use, so I'm gonna take that out. And beeper aux3, that's the way I like it. Flip over crash on aux3 as well. No, we're gonna use that to aux4, and aux4 user preference, I'll turn that off. Now I'm gonna look for air mode, and I'm going to assign that right here, add range, and put it at the top of the bar and save it. Oops, I forgot to choose aux2 and then save. Okay, now let's get rid of the unused modes and double check. Arm aux1, yes. Angle aux2 on the bottom, and air mode aux2 at the top. Beeper aux3, okay, and flip over after crash aux4 at the top, and save that. Okay, adjustments, I'm not going to do anything there. Motors, OSD, let's just go and see what the OSD looks like. Okay, it's all preset for you here, so that's really nice, and it is set to HD, so I'm going to leave it just the way it is. And here's the warnings, And here's the post-flight statistics, in which battery current, battery mAh, battery voltage. I would like to see the battery voltage. Battery voltage at the end, battery voltage minimum. Okay, watt hours, black box number. Okay, turn that off. Black box, I'm not using black box. Okay, RSSI minimum. And speed maximum. I'm not using GPS, so I don't know what my speed is. Timer 2. And I guess that would be just about it. So I'm going to go ahead and save. Okay, all saved. So let's go ahead and disconnect and check it out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and plug in the quadcopter again, give it power. And I'm going to use the same USB-C cable to give it power. Now, there's a green light on the bottom. It's constantly flashing, but after about a minute, it will start to flash rapidly. That means it has entered into the Wi-Fi mode. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait for that to happen. Okay, so it's flashing really rapidly now, so Wi-Fi is enabled. So let's go to the Wi-Fi section, and there you go. There's the Express ELRS RX. And let's go ahead and connect. And here we are at the web UI of Express ELRS. So let's see. It has a generic ESP 8285 2.4 gigahertz RX firmware, and it is a 3.3, so you can go ahead and use this. It's pretty much the latest firmware, so if you don't want to update it, you can go ahead and use this, but I'm going to go ahead and update it. Okay, let's go ahead and boot up Express ELRS configurator. Okay, it says found update. Do you want to update now? I'll do that later. Let's expand. And let's see. Oh, wow. We have all the way up to 3.4.3. Wow, the last time I did something was 3.3.2. Okay, so let's go ahead and go up to 3.4.3. Target will be Betafpv 2.4 gigahertz, and it would be Betafpv Nano RX. We'll choose that. Flashing method, I'm gonna use Wi-Fi method. And standard mode, okay, regulatory domain, binding phrase, there you go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and build, and that's going to take a little while. Okay, all right, it has been built, and there's the firmware. Now I'm going to go ahead and reconnect the quadcopter to give it power, so it'll go into the Wi-Fi mode. And wait until it starts to flash. Okay, it's starting to flash. Now let's go back into the web UI. And there's the Express ELRS. Connect again. And here we go. I want to update now, and it says choose file, and open and update. Update succeeded. Okay, there's my binding phrase. And as you can see here, Now it's Betafpv 2.4 gigahertz Nano RX, firmware 3.4.3. So we all good now. Okay, just to make sure everything is good, I'm going to go ahead and reconnect to Betaflight. All right, still working. There you go. Okay, still working. All right, so let's go on down to the receivers tab and let's see what we got here. Nothing is connected because my transmitter is not powered on. Okay.
Welcome to EdgeTX. Throttle warning.
Okay. What is up? Not connecting. Ah, there it is. Let's see. Okay, bars are working. Throttle is throttle. Pitch is pitch. Roll and yaw. Okay, we are correct here, so everything is working just fine. Let me see some of my switches. Okay. Okay, all working. Ready to fly.
Welcome to EdgeTX. Throttle warning.
All right. Here we go with a little quick line of sight test without any VTX mounted. Yep, nice and smooth. I got the 450 milliamp battery. Hey, not bad. All right. It's a bit windy, but seems like it's doing fine in a little bit of wind as well. Nice. Okay, so here I have an analog all-in-one VTX mounted via some poster putty, powered via the balance plug's 1S port. Now it will not have Betaflight OSD, but this VTX has input voltage OSD, so the battery voltage can be monitored. So you can fly this thing even if you don't have one of those expensive HD VTX. DJI O3 Air unit is the same process as the Pavo Pico. Now the product page has the same link for installing the Pavo Pico mount. So first, install the antenna of your choice and simply clip it in. Install the camera. Place the rubber dampers. Now use the provided screws so the rubber dampers can provide a soft mounted finish. And don't forget to connect the wiring harness. Now I like this Pavo 20 a lot more better than the Pavo Pico since the size and motors are slightly bigger. The camera is protected better and the battery provides more power. And I like this Pavo 20 better than the Pavo 25 because the DJI unit is easier to install and the SD card is accessible. And it is so much fun to fly. So check it out. The link is down below in the video description. So get yourself a bunch of batteries, go out and have some fun, and capture videos like a big Cinewhoop with one of the HD VTXs, or fly it with an analog VTX. It is a very well-made tiny Cinewhoop. So with that, I thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.